NNRG.
So the mystery game today is simply called Fish. So I don't have a freaking clue what to expect out of this one, because, yeah, it's just called Fish. So I guess start it up? There's a bunch of different things it could be. Most obvious, well, maybe obviously. Like a fishing game seems like the most obvious, but I don't know. And we got another intro here. This one, once again, does not have any music to it. Apparently a password checker removed, so it looks like this was probably like a manual-based copy protection on this one. Oh, it actually explains exactly what happened. It's in the little text scrolling by. It said that after you've made about 100 moves, it will ask you to put in a password to indicate that you need to, basically the copy protection password is put in after you make so many moves. So that is kind of nice that this is another game that doesn't just completely cut you off from playing if you don't have the copy protection stuff. I think that's probably a better way to do it, rather than like stopping people from playing the game entirely, letting them get a taste of it so that they can maybe want to go buy the proper game or something. Okay, well, this intro is very silent, so let's move on from here. And we got Fish. Copyright Magnetic Scrolls, 1988. And it says it's oh wait, yeah, it is indeed loading. I was about to say it says it's loading, but I don't see the disk indicator light, but there it goes. Well, that's interesting. The disk indicator light's actually flashing right now. Like, usually with a Commodore 64 game, when it's loading, the disk indicator light is solid. So don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Like, it's passing through the different tracks, so it's clearly reading something. Okay, it says please swap your disk, because there is a second side to this disk, or a second image anyways for me. So attach that, and then hit spacebar, I'm assuming, and it's continuing to do its load. Okay, it's scrolled up a line. We got Goldfish Bowl. 0, Okay, well done, Agent 10, said Sir Playfair Panchax? I'm not sure. Head of Mission HQ. We knew you'd stop the 7 deadly fins. Takeoff of 7 deadly sins. Good show. It's a shame that they got away again, but now I suggest you take a vacation. You've earned it, old boy. You agreed with him. The last few months had been a real chore. Being an interdimensional espionage operative. Okay, you got maybe like some kind of Doctor Who thing going on or something. Isn't a bad life apart from the pain of warping and the inconvenience of host-parasite relationships. But you need a spot of R&R every now and then just to stay sane. So you went for the big one, warping into a goldfish for a whole month. The peace, the tranquility, and you're still on the payroll. What? So is this going to be like some kind of weird goldfish simulator, but with all of this lore about interdimensional travel and everything? There's got to be more to it than this. So, someone's coming. Good. It must be time for food. Splatto. A hand as big as a bus drops something hard right on your head. Understandably dazed, you flip over and, through a swirl of ant eggs, spot what hit you. A tacky plastic castle. Looks like a rush job. Sir, Playfair must be in trouble and you thought you were on vacation. Oh, we got images now. Okay. So, I'm not sure what we're looking at here. Kind of looks like an upside down room. So it says Goldfish Bowl. Swimming upside down is good fun, but difficult, even for someone as highly trained as yourself. It looks like the pondweed is dangling from the gravel above your head, and the ant eggs, wow. Upside down, they look so much like, well, like exactly the same as if you were the right way up, actually. Anyway, there's no need to get carried away. Sir Playfair has a message for you in the castle, if you're not mistaken, and he hates agents who are late. Okay, so do we actually do anything, or do we just read text? Oh, we got a text parser. So this is one of those, This is kind of like one of those in-betweens, because you have your text adventures, which, you know, they're kind of ubiquitous with old computing devices. But then you've got the Sierra-style games, which kind of mixed a graphical environment you walked around with a text parser. But this is a style of game that kind of came between those two, where it's still a text parser, but you can visually see the scene that you're in. So it gives you an idea of what your surroundings are and everything without having to type in look commands and such like. Okay, so do we have a help thing here, or is it just, oh wow, it has to do a load every time I type in a command? Hopefully not. Because yeah, it's loading a whole bunch right now. Either it's loading a useful hints are available in the packaging. Well, I don't have the packaging. I mean, I guess I could download a manual, but this is a text parser. Like, how screwed am I gonna be if I don't look up the commands? But let's test the waters here, literally. Look. Does the look on its own do anything? Okay, so that just retreads the information that we had when we came in here. So do we have the exits command? It's doing something. Oh, we do have the exits command. So north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest, up, and down. So we can literally go any direction we want. Let's go up. You can't decide which way is up or which way is down at the moment, so you stay precisely as you were. How about north? Can we go north? You swim at the sides of the bowl and perform a sharp left turn with triple, tail loop, and dorsal dip, difficulty level 1.2. Then glide back to the center of the bowl. Pity there were no judges, see it? You get bored of swimming upside down and turn over, definitely avoiding the first scoring point of the game. Okay. So is the game trying to tell me that I wasn't able to get the very first point or something? I don't know. Okay, well, it looks like we got a giant castle in the bowl now. So the ant eggs have stopped swirling around and are now floating on the surface. Gravel fills the bottom of the bowl, and some tasty-looking pondweed you've been wanting to nibble for days is lying on it. You get a nasty feeling in your swim bladder about the castle, probably because Sir Playfair has so rudely interrupted your vacation. I should probably type in gibberish just to see if the game will actually, like, have to do a load if I put in an incorrect command. Because it's doing something right now. Okay, it looks like that worked. So inside the castle is exactly what you expected. Tacky and featureless with ant eggs near the top and gravel at the bottom. To anyone else, the colors sprayed randomly on the wall would just be colors sprayed randomly on the wall. To a daring interdimensional espionage operative like yourself, however, they are obviously used to focus communications across the dimensions. The only exit is out, back to the Goldfish Bowl. Okay, so do we talk to the wall? Oh no, wait, we got him. Oh, wait. Testing, hello, can you hear me? Agent 10. You groan as Sir Playfair Panchax's voice rattles around your brain. I'm sorry about this, old chap, he continues. I wouldn't disrupt your vacation unless it was necessary. He coughs. It's bad news, I'm afraid. The 7 deadly fins again. Sabotage this time on a planet full of fish. Beats me why they should pick on fish, but fish it is. They've stolen something important, a focus wheel, I think, and dismantled it. We've got a fix on most places they've visited recently. You'll have to scout around and find the wheel. Your interdimensional warps will be ready in a few milliseconds. The backroom boys have some tricks up their sleeves if you get into trouble. The castle jolts and 3 warps in a glass box appear as Sir Playfair signs off. Okay, so 3 warps and a glass box. Good luck and keep your eyes peeled. Okay, so do we want to get the box? Well, actually, right. Let's type in gibberish and see what if it like has to load just to tell me that that's an incorrect command. So hit the button. Yeah, it's doing. Every time you type something in, it does a whole lot of loading, and then finally comes back saying it doesn't understand. So that's going to get annoying real fast, the fact that there's a load every time you type something in. Oh boy. Like, it's doing more loading than when I typed in the gibberish, but a mere goldfish can't do that. Okay, do I have to open the box? So I'll try open box there. A mere goldfish can't open the box either. So can we do look warps? Small warp is just big enough to swim through. The jagged warp looks important. It's jagged as well, but definitely important. And the smooth warp looks the trendiest of all the warps. It must lead somewhere pretty cool. Okay, let's look at the box. So, because maybe if we look at the box, we'll find some way to actually take it or open it or something. Glass box shows all the hallmarks of a rush assembly. There are loads of electrical components in it and yards of wiring. You can only hope the backroom boys didn't economize on waterproofing. And it's closed. But we can't open it because we're a goldfish. So what do we even do with it? Interdimensional travel hurts a lot, especially when you haven't done it for a while. You buck and roll through the journey feeling very nauseous, then with a small popping noise, take over a body with the aid of a customized host-parasite interface. Your host has arms and legs. Looks like trouble. Okay, so I'm not a fish anymore, I guess? Where are we going to end up? I mean, we're going to end up somewhere. A clearing. It stopped raining here at the moment, but the clouds overhead show that it could start again any minute. If they decide to burst, the tree stump in the center of the clearing would probably fill up with water. Paths go south, southeast, east, in all other directions, and the undergrowth is too. The undergrowth is too tangled to make any progress. Mickey Blowtorch, your ex-colleague, now a crazed warp junkie, is lounging around the stump, looking suitably bemused. But we're still looking at the castle. Oh, it's one of these games where there's no talk command. So that means if you want to talk to someone, you have to basically... You either have to basically say specific things, or... Because, like, I mean, we'll recognize the say command. Mickey says hello. Okay, so... I'm not sure what to actually put in here. Going south. And see if it finally updates the screen, because we're still looking at that underwater castle. Okay, it's lifting the screen up. Please swap your disk. Okay. Well, I just noticed it looks like we're going into a dank forest, judging by the text at the top there. Up, and there's our dank forest. Wait, we need to swap again? What? We had to swap the disk to load the dank forest, but now we have to swap the disk again to actually play in the dank forest. That seems a little bizarre. Anyways, this part of the forest is horribly cold and damp, and brambles scratch and pull at you as you pass. To the north and south, the undergrowth clears a little. The forest continues freely in all other directions. Okay then. These loading times are starting to get really annoying because it has to do a load every single time you go anywhere, whether or not it's pulling in new screens or anything, or anytime you just input a command. Experience tells you the mine is probably riddled with lurking nasties. Training tells you there's nothing to worry about. It's dark in there. You haven't got a light. Anyway, who's looking for trouble? You return to the glade. Okay, so it's not going to let us go into the mine. Well, wait a minute. Something explodes in the distance, but as they say, out of sight, out of mind, so it's probably better not to worry about it. I think maybe we should worry about it. Explosions are generally not a good thing. Okay, that's weird. For some reason, when I went north now, it loaded like the imagery, but in the top corner and in black and white. Like, did it mess up, or is that normal? This is taking a surprising amount of time to do this because of all the loading. Outside Smithy, soggy leaves hang limply from the tree here, and thick clouds drift slowly overhead. A battered blacksmith's forge lies to the east, shrouded on all sides by the trees of the forest. I guess we're going to that forge then. Something I find interesting is that this game is tracking the maximum possible score we could have at each step of the way. But we actually have a new image finally. So now I guess we're in the blacksmith forge, and it wants us to swap again. Why couldn't they just put the information for each room onto the same disk? Why has it got to separate out the images and the gameplay onto two separate disks? That means every time it has to do a load, you have to swap disks twice. Smithy is dark and hot. The cherry red glow of the fire is proof that someone has been using it quite recently. Curiously, the building has no windows and there is only the one exit. Well, this Smithy is probably going to die of smoke inhalation if there's no windows. Holy jeez. Oh, it says the exit is opposite a tool cupboard. To the west, some feathers are strewn about, almost enough to make a duvet. Okay then. I guess get the feathers? Like, I mean, it's our first inventory item. I don't know what we're gonna do with feathers, but... And then, like, 15 seconds later, we finally have the feathers. There is so much loading in this game. Okay, so believe it or not, even though I don't think this will have been a very long video by this point, I've been playing for over half an hour. Because there is so much loading. Every time you type a command in, there's at least 5 seconds of loading, probably more if it's something the game recognizes. So, yeah, like, I mean, the game seems like it's pretty, I don't want to say typical, because I'm sort of getting like almost like I'm kind of getting like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy vibes here, because that was a game that was a text adventure, but it was very atypical in how a text adventure would normally go. Starting off with very weird situations and everything, and that's kind of what this seems like it's going for. Like, this game seems to be going for that angle of being fantastical, but with this sort of like time dimensional thing going on or something. But yeah, that was Fish with an exclamation mark. It's a very basic text adventure, but with graphical elements, with a very wacky story that seems like a little bit of James Bond influence or other things like that. I mean, starting you out as a fish, but then making you not a fish. Like, I don't understand the logic of what's going on here. We were talking about the 7 deadly fins, and now we're just a guy walking around. Like, this story clearly has some kind of weirdness to it, but the loading is so egregious that it takes forever to make any sort of progress.